Hey guys, we are live. Welcome to our SMS Text Blasting Masterclass today. So I'm really excited today to really share SMS Text Blasting and really give you a masterclass today because I don't see a lot of YouTubers talking about it. And honestly, I just wanted to really brush it over for everyone who's new into SMS Text Blasting or really want to get into it or really just want a refresher on it or maybe kind of learn what it is and what it's all about. So I know a lot of people have just been hitting me up about Zach, do SMS videos. And honestly, I do them. And then I get like 40 messages on Instagram that day on questions about SMS. And honestly, maybe I'll forget something or like a really important question someone asked. So I'm live right now. I'm going to do it like a regular video. But at the end here, I'm going to answer all the SMS text blasting questions you got. So before we get into it, remember, guys, before everything, you need to smash that like button and subscribe. That helps the YouTube algorithm. And also to help the YouTube algorithm, comment below your questions. I want to help you guys out. And honestly, I'm just here to help. So again, the coolest part about this whole thing is because of the following we have here at Flip with Rick at smszach.com. They actually lose money doing this, but don't talk about that too much. But you get 500 texts for $1, which is way below what the thing is. It's like I think $15 of texts. So I think it's like $15 of text you get for $1, and they do it just because I don't know why they do, but they let me give it out to you guys. So it's something that you guys can do. Pretty cool. But that's it, guys. So what I'm going to do is really refresher for SMS text blasting. Again, nobody talks about this. I don't know why. It's one of my favorite marketing strategies out there. And honestly, it's really good. So it's like cold calling. Everyone loves cold calling, except you don't have to physically be cold calling the time. Now, I used to cold call from 2 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday in college, and I liked it. But some guys just don't want to cold call 5 hours a day. They don't like talking on the phone for that much, and it's driving me crazy. So really quickly, if we can, just make sure that the volume's working. I just want to make sure that we're good here. Everyone can hear me. I want to make sure the screen's actually like working. All right, cool. Just that's my one check every time I do it. So let's get going, guys. So SMS text blasting. So really quickly, guys, what is SMS text blasting? So SMS text blasting is basically the marketing tactic of actually texting your motivated sellers. That's right. You can actually text your motivated sellers absolutely like it's crazy. So you might think, oh, do I have to individually text? No, you can use software like smszach.com. You can use any software, honestly. I just promote that one because they give you guys texting for under the cost of it. That's basically the only reason I do it. And then because I use it also in my own business, but I use whatever service you want. Most of them are with using like a big company called Twilio. So again, they all use the same one. It's a tomato, kind of like skip tracing. They all basically use one of 4 companies. So like you might like the layout of one, but it all does the same thing. It's like buying a Lowe's hammer versus a Home Depot hammer. They're both hammers. I mean, one might be $5 and one might be $4.99, but like, come on. One's blue, one's orange, but they do the same thing. So I absolutely love it. So SMS text blasting is a way for you to send thousands of texts every single day to potential motivated sellers to actually try to get your deals done. Basically, there's a tactic I'm going to show you in this video. If you watch some of my older videos, they're a lot different. Back in the good old days, I feel like an old man saying this, but you used to be able to just text people like, hey, do you want to cash offer in a house? And I used to have unlimited texting back then, text like 4,000 a day. And it was, oh my gosh, I didn't even know what I had. It's like buying Bitcoin in 2002. Or no, that was in 2008. They created 2000. It's like buying Bitcoin in 2012. It's like you didn't know what you had till it was gone. And I just abused that thing. And honestly, me and a lot of other wholesalers abused it to the point where you can't do that anymore. And there's some secret things with the algorithms with AT&T, Verizon, Sprint. I'm going to go over all of it today. So don't like, guys, I'm going all over all of it. I know it works. I know it doesn't. So I got all the scripts. I got everything for you in this masterclass. So don't worry. Don't stress out if this is live right now, but remember, this is going to be a replay that's going to be here forever. So you don't be like, I got to watch this live. It's actually pretty cool. So SMS text blasting with that software lets us blast out text to our motivated sellers. So here's some of the most important parts about it. So the reason why I love SMS text blasting is the way we kind of do is we're able to scale it out, which means I can be doing videos like this. I don't have to be SMS text blasting. I can have VAs doing it for me. And it's pretty cool. Got acquisitions people actually qualifying for myself. And SMS text blasting is a new feature on it. I don't think anyone's like talked about this at all. This is like a big secret for a lot of these guys, but you can use SMS text blasting to blow up your cash buyers. You don't have to cold call cash buyers anymore. You can actually text them, and it's a lot more compliant than with sellers. So let's get into some more of it. So really quickly, I'm assuming you know a little bit about wholesaling real estate. You might not be like the complete expert of wholesaling real estate, but I assume you know a little about it. So honestly, what you really need to know, first of all, with SMS text blasting is the lists. So the lists are very important when it comes to your SMS text blasting. I just think it's so important. So the lists, my favorite list when it comes to actually text blasting is I love vacants. You want a list that's kind of big, but niched out at the same time. I mean, you don't want to send 50 texts a day. I mean, I think it's reasonable for someone to do 500 to 1,000 a day. I think if you kind of want to get things going, that it's probably where we're at with new people, I would say. Now, there's guys doing 5 to 10,000 a day, but I think 500 is probably with some of the best ones out there. And honestly, you got to guys got to know sometimes SMS text blasting won't work in your market, and sometimes it will. That's why that 500 texts for $1 just lets you test it out. But that's kind of why I always promote that thing. So Probates is really good nationally. What I mean by this is I always prefer mailing out probates and actually not texting, is cold calling probates. That's kind of our bread and butter here in Port St. Lucie, Florida. But you could text probates, but on a national scale, it would make way more sense. So let's say I'm doing virtual wholesaling and I want to absolutely dominate all of Central California. And I'll go to every single county in Central California, even NorCal and SoCal. And maybe I'll do all of California, pull all the probates and text blast that. Or I do like all the probates in the Southeast or all of Louisiana's probates and text blast that. That makes a lot more sense than text blasting like your individual probates, because only be like 40 to 50 a week. And it's just better to text, better to call that. And guys, we're live. I'm not some expert. I don't have the face for TV. I don't have the voice for radio. So I'm not the most polished guy out there, but I'm a legitimate 7-figure wholesaler. I got the results to prove it. Go to flipwithrick.com results. I mean, I think our actions speak for ourselves. So what I lack in those skills of broadcast television or something like that, I got results in the free knowledge. So that's kind of the way I do it. So my second favorite one here is government lists. Government lists is one of the best ones out there because obviously you want to be as cheap as possible when it comes to your SMS. I mean, you don't want to skimp on some things, but government lists are extremely motivated. They're very niched out. And if you're in a very competitive market, government lists are one of my favorites. Now, what do I mean by government list? It's a list provided by the government for free that has someone motivated. So code violations are really good. Eviction lists, water shutoff lists, probates are actually government lists. Divorce lists are pretty good too. And I mean, there's some, did I mention, I mentioned eviction lists. You can actually go into credit card debt lists. It's in the other category there on listrei.com. Those are probably the best ones I would say right now, like is if you can do it, but that's what I would say. Now, the next one here would be if you're going high volume. So if you're a 7-figure wholesaler like me, so again, you know, I've been wholesaling for a little bit. So I'm able to hit those numbers, but again, we're delegating, we're at kind of a big volume scale. So I got people doing the marketing. I got VAs. I got acquisitions people. We got people working with dispositions, transaction coordinating. Like we kind of got the system set where I can do high volume of SMS text blasting. So my preferred one is you're going to run out of lists. I mean, my city's only 200,000, but I mean, overall, if I do everything around, it's like 500,000. It's not a lot, like compared to if I live in like Dallas or Houston. So I would say for doing like big volume stuff, keep it at high equity. And then obviously, I mean, it's the law of numbers. Like you text blast enough, you'll hit deals that kind of do it. So I think I did a video. Did I release the video? No, I didn't. So like, for example, like I did a video today, picked up a new check today. I think we made, gotta hide what I can on there. We made like 20K. I don't know. I picked it up today for a video. So that video will release in like a couple weeks. But the reason why, I had to check on my desk here, but the reason why I share that wasn't an SMS deal, but that was a direct mail deal, but it was from a high equity mailer. And that was actually a pre-foreclosure. So in all the high equity, it already hits the pre-foreclosure. So I don't really have to hit pre-foreclosures when it comes to my SMS text blasting, my cold calling, or my direct mail. Like it just hits it already because it's all under the high equity one. So kind of like the text blasting, it just hit this month for direct mail because we kind of do it by zones. So just to show you, like 20K, like with the high equity, you do a lot of volume. Those things are like a dime a dozen. Free versus paid skip tracing. So once we pull the list, we got to think about skip tracing. So you can do the free stuff or you can do the paid ones. Honestly, it's all up to what you're kind of feeling. So if you are younger, you don't have a lot of money, you got a little more hustle ambition. Let's say you're not married with 2 kids and you got a regular 9-to-5 job. Maybe you'd use like truepeoplesearch.com. That might be the better choice for you. Ultimately, you got to choose. Like SMSZach.com's got its own skip tracing in it. I think you can get it around 13 to 12 cents. You can pump it up to 10 cents once you're doing really big numbers, but ultimately you got to make a decision on what you want for it. So really, if you don't have the time, but you got the money, pay for the skip tracing. If you don't, do the truepeoplesearch.com. It's a lot of work, but it's honestly free. And I'm going to tell you, that's what I did when I was starting out. It's the cheap. Put some music on, put like, I don't know, Tupac or something in your ears while you're doing the True People search because it's very manual, but like do some fun music or whatever that like you like and just grind. So that's always what I do with my cold calling, but that's kind of what we did. And I did very well in that. So the next one here is if you're in a saturated market, this is some knowledge I want to drop on you guys. It's the saturated double dip market. I guess I'm trying to coin terms here. I guess I'm bored all day. So the saturated double dip method is kind of what we do. So if I had no direct mail, I only had to do 2 marketing strategies, be SMS and cold calling. The reason why I do it is because you're double dipping your list. What I mean by that is if I pull a huge high equity list for St. Lucie County here in Florida, which is Port St. Lucie's county, where we're at, what I would do is if I pulled a list of, let's say 10,000, I would skip trace that list, right? I'll grind through the free one, do the True People search, or I'll probably pay right now. I'd pay for it because it cost me, $2,000, then I start getting $20,000 deals all year. So like if I make, $300K from just one list of 10,000, like it's worth just to pay for it, just like get the scaling up. But I could grind it out, do the free truepeoplesearch.com method. But with the skip trace, remember the True People search, get the 3 phone numbers, and then the paid one will get the 3 for you. And then if you're paid for skip tracing, you'll get like 6 or 7 numbers. Just do phone 1, 2, and 3, skip the other ones, keep them as kind of like a backup file, but like when you upload the list, just do 1 through 3. But the saturated double dip method means if I have a list of 10,000, I find the phone numbers, I already paid money for that list. Why don't I double dip it on something? So why don't I cold call that list and then I SMS blast that list, or vice versa? I SMS blast that list and then I cold call that list. You will be actually very shocking for you. But I've once texted a list of like 10,000 and maybe I pulled 2 deals out of that, which is like, oh, come on, it's amazing. And then what I did was I would cold call that list and I get like 3 deals out of that. I'm like, what are those extra, like for that one list of 10,000, I'd get like 5 deals of like 20K and be like, when I was texting, how did I not miss out on those 3 deals? And then when I was cold calling, I'm like, how did I miss out on those 2 texting deals? It's weird, but some people answer texts and then some people just won't answer your phone call. It's really weird. I challenge you to try this method out where you cold call a list and then you text blast that list, and then you will find you'll get different leads. It's really weird. People are weird. Humans are weird. So I double dip on that. And honestly, and then I'll even direct mail that list, and I'll even get deals from there that I would have never gotten. Like each type of marketing, you'll get deals that you have never gotten with the other one. So that's why it's always good to diversify your marketing. And it's kind of crazy. And the only other one I've found like online leads and stuff, I'm not going to get too much into that, but honestly, like that saturated double dip method is killer. This is the stuff you got to pay like $4 or $5,000 for like a course material for. I'm giving it out all for free. So guys, remember, This stuff is in the $5,000 to $10,000 courses. I'm giving it out for free. These gurus are absolutely going crazy for me. Like they're running ads against me actively as we're speaking. I'm not talking about it, but like these gurus are trying to come after me, and I ain't stopping. I ain't stopping until I put them all out of business. But yeah, that's one of the methods I do use. I think it's amazing. So if you got a $500 budget, I think you should do the free skip tracing, truepeoplesearch.com, pull the government lists, and then as many texts as you possibly can. I would push it from there. I would text from Monday to Friday. I personally think the best time to text I found is around 2 p.m. I don't know why. This is like maybe a Florida thing. I'm only really wholesale on the East Coast, really. So it's like Eastern Standard Time. But really, when I send the text out at 2, what I do is make sure, like I got a VA is always on. But basically, if I do it by myself, like I've done before, I would text at 3 and then make sure I stay on the platform on SMSZach.com, SMSZach.com, so I can reply instantly and call the leads. Because if you take too long to answer back, they think you're a robot or something, and they won't. It might not be good. So people like fast texting, so that's probably what I would do more or less. So Monday through Friday, and then the really, really important part that you guys got to understand is this is the stuff that a lot of people don't do well with their SMS, but they just won't do it. Is once they start texting someone and they actually get someone who's like sort of like a little interested, like a tad, what they do is they try to have a texting conversation with them and like just try to have a convo with them. And sometimes you try to lock it up through text, which is, I think, is absolutely stupid. If someone shows a slight, like a teensy bit of interest at all, call them. Like seriously. Like the most important part of texting is you just want to get rid of the initial like grunt work of marketing, which is like, hey, you're interested in selling a property, of any interest at all. If someone shows a slight bit of interest, boom, put them on Podio, start calling them and try to qualify them. It's probably one of the most important ones out there. So when you're sending your text out, remember www.flipwithrick.com/texting. That is my actual, that's actually my guide. Those are my outbound scripts for like wholesaling, for the SMS text blasting. And that's pretty cool stuff. So that's what it is. So, but if they show any interest at all, remember, you guys got to call them. It's very important to call these people. I absolutely recommend it 100% is to call. So really the way my outbound scripts are, it's kind of like you're just trying to get an initial answer in the beginning, and then you got to do the jab, right hook, jab, right hook type thing. So the way I actually text it out is the way the algorithm used to work was, you just text. But now there's so much spam happening. There's so much spam that T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, they're starting to crack down on it. So, excuse me there. But the way I actually do it is probably my favorite thing here is you want to get one answer. So the reason why I do my outbound scripts like this is because it's the only way to be successful, because the saturated guys are like, hey, you're looking to sell a property. People just ignore it. What you want to do is pique interest and get that algorithm kind of the way that the texting actually works. Like you want to hack it. And the way I hack it, it's probably, if you're watching this video in 2024, probably something's different. That's why I do lives talking about this all the time. But the way to do it right now, as you're watching this, guys are watching this live in 2021, as of March 30th, just making sure, 2021 is the best way possible. I can tell you right now is you want to text something where you just get a response. Once you get a response, then the algorithm, when it comes to the texting, says, wow, you know what? This isn't spam. Sally Sue here actually answered back to Zach's text. It doesn't seem like a spam. So if I texted you about your car's auto warranty, 99% chance you're just going to ignore that. And the algorithm's like, oh, that's a spam. They just ignored it. Because most texts are replied to and read within like 2 minutes or something crazy like that. So if you ask them a question that you like requires them to answer you like really quickly or pique their interest, like human nature does, like you're using psychology for this, then the texting algorithm will say, okay, this is a legitimate like text. This is from a real person. So we'll let it through. And then you can say whatever you want, and then the wording won't like get freaked out. So the way I do it is I go for the question. I always try to get the answer to the first one, and then I hit him the jab. I hit him with punch him in the face basically with my offer. So what my offer is technically is, hey, are you looking for are you looking to get rid of your property for cash? And that's basically it. And that's kind of what www.flipwithrick.com/texting will get you. And it's pretty important, I would say. But like that's kind of the way I do it. Some people do it differently. Sometimes they just do an outbound one. That's where I had the most success with. That's where a lot of the people that I'm trying to teach for free do very well in. But that's kind of the way I do it. And then from there, you're actually sending text out. So like one free game I can give you right here too is like the initial one is always changing for me. One that used to work so much is, hey, like something simple like, hey, is this Sally Sue? Question mark. Like if someone texted me like, hey, is this Zach Ginn? I'm probably going to answer that. That kind of piqued my interest, right? And so maybe it's this long lost connection or something crazy, my fourth uncle or something like that. So I would say it's very interesting to do something like that. And then you hit them with a, hey, I was actually around the neighborhood seeing if you're interested in actually selling the property for cash, and then go from there. And the algorithm won't like pop it off. So once you get people that say, hey, I'm actually thinking about selling it, or maybe I'm possibly looking to sell it, then we got to start qualifying the seller. This is the really important part. This is even part of the SMS tax buy. This is like just real estate wholesaling sales in general. From there, remember, we want to call. Calling is the most important thing here. If someone shows any interest, you want to have the conversation over the phone. This will beat your competition. Your competition is texting. They're trying to do the little texting thing. No, you're beating the competition here. We're going to actually call them. We're actually going to try to set the appointment as soon as possible and beat them here. If you're in like a crazy market, you're in Phoenix, like Houston, like you got to get the stuff really quick. So the 4 questions, these are the 4 questions that basically every sales person in wholesaling has been doing since 2002. I read this book in 2002, talked about the 4 questions you got to qualify sellers for. So I know some gurus out there like saying they claim this, like everyone's been saying this. But basically it's motivation. Ask the person why they're looking to sell the property, why they'd even have any interest in doing that. Next one here is condition. Basically, what is the condition of the property? Is the roof okay? The flooring, the AC, the wall, stucco, basically the whole foundation. How's the condition of it? Time frame. When are they actually looking to sell the property? And last is price. Basically, how much they need to get rid of the property for. Once they basically show any motivation at all, or they want to sell for a discount, throw that thing into Podio. And again, if you search Podio space flip with Rick, there's plenty of guides on there to help you out and basically show you how to set up Podio for free. That's what we do here. And then basically we're calling and they're motivated enough. We set the appointment and we go out there and try to lock up the contract. It's really not that complicated, guys. Like wholesaling is as complicated as you want it to be. And honestly, if you do it right, it shouldn't be that complicated. You guys just got to go set the appointments as soon as possible. And then right here, again, my ask, Zach, what contract do I use? If you're in Texas, use the TREC contract. And then that's the only one I think that you have to use their contract. And then in like New York, where you have to use an attorney, and I think New Jersey possibly use an attorney, write it up. And if you're outside those 3 states, most likely, again, I'm not a CPA, financial advisor, lawyer, do everything at your own risk, get lawyers for everything, blah, 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 blah. Don't sue me, bro. But www.flipwithrick.com/contract is my personal one that I use, is my free wholesaling contract. And then my assignment of contract, that's free. The reason why my favorite, like the contract's really good, but like contracts are a dime a dozen. The assignment of contract has language in there so you don't get a deal stolen from you. I had one guy who got his deal stolen. I'm like, I got to make my own assignment of contract so you don't get your deal stolen. And I think it's absolutely changed the way that I think assignments are going to be done in the future, because I got the legitimate, like really important stuff in there to help you guys out. So what we do for there is we get the contract signed. We use a earnest money deposit. Most likely, I like to keep the EMD at $100 if you're new into wholesaling. If you're like broke as a joke, 18 years old, you could do $10. I prefer 100, and then sometimes you like 1,000. So like on this example right here on this deal that we did, I also on the 20K, we left a $1,000 deposit. So I think we got a check for our $1,000 deposit also. So where is it? Right here. Like on this one also, we got I can't show. Am I allowed to show it? I don't know. Rick's going to kill me. But we got $1,000 because we left a deposit there with that wholesale deal. So we left $1,000 deposit. So that's kind of the big boys do. We kind of have to do $1,000 deposits, kind of where we're at, because we're in Florida, which is a sunny place for shady people. So we got to make sure our properties and deals are basically protected. And then we actually want to find a cash buyer. So what we do is we go to listrei.com, pull all the cash sales in the area, and then we SMS text blast with SMSZach.com, and we actually text blast our cash buyers from there. And then we try to, basically get our cash buyers and go through there. Once we find the buyer, we walk them through. We go to closing day, we profit and repeat. That's SMS text blasting. I mean, that's in a gist basically what it is. If you guys want, I can answer some questions you guys got. Again, we do Q&As basically on Thursdays, podcast Wednesday, and then I basically kind of do a live and talk about a topic every Tuesday. And then on Fridays, we'll start live streaming my Wholesaling Houses for Real Mastermind calls. So if you want to join that, it's basically, do I even have the link? I feel, oh my gosh. It's this one right here. On Fridays, we do that too. So just kind of get in there. But yeah, let's answer some questions. So how do you do, Zach? Greeting from California again. A huge thank you and bear hug for doing this. Ivan, I do this all the time. I promise you, I'm here to help you guys out. Thank you so much. Ashley says, let's go. Hit that like button. Oh, yeah. What's up? How are you? How are you? Can we get a goat in the chat? You're amazing. I think our screen's fine. How do you close virtual deals at 17, Zach? So I'm not 17 anymore. I'm actually 21 years old right now. I actually did not do any virtual deals when I was 17. I was all physical till basically I was 18 and a half. At 17, you could do virtual wholesaling, SMS text blasting. You do that too. But basically, I would say at 17, it's a little tougher depending on where you are. I prefer cold calling. That's probably my best way to do with like a government list. That's kind of how I'd get into virtual wholesaling. If you search virtual wholesaling, space flip with Rick, I got plenty of free content for you that I'll kind of show you step by step on that. Hey, Zach, have a question when you get the chance. Hit me up. Always here to help. What about Roar and REI Reply? I've heard of Roar and I've heard of REI Reply. I know REI Reply uses Twilio, kind of like SMSZach.com. So I've heard only good stuff about both of these. Roar's a little weirder, but it's kind of older. A lot of guys were using Roar back in the day. But yeah, I mean, only good stuff about them. I mean, they don't give free texting out. So that's why I kind of don't like have a link, I guess, for them. But you got use it. Like Home Depot hammer versus the Lowe's hammer. Like, I know you guys love watching me and stuff, but like, you don't have to like use any service that like I recommend. It's just the stuff that I use. So, hey, like to each their own. Like you will get SMS deals doing whatever service you want. Like, don't be forced to use whatever thing I say. Like, honestly, like they're both going to get the job done. How many people do you have sending text messages for you? We just got a VA. Like I ain't like at 7 figures. It ain't this crazy huge like business. Man is a 7-figure wholesaler. I appreciate it. We got a lot of people on the team though, but yeah, I appreciate it. Zach, what's happening, man? Dude, life is absolutely amazing, man. I'm surprised how awesome things are going and the just more great stuff's on the horizon. So life's good, man. Thanks, buddy. No problem, Ian. Thank you so much. Wow, amazing texting works. I text a lot with Launch Control and I'm getting many deals lately. Launch Control is another really good one. Finally caught your live stream. Always miss it. That's sweet. I'm so glad we finally got to connect here, Mike. Thank you so much for hopping on here live. Zach, I want to say thank you for all the free game. You helped me put a plan together to execute. No more analysis paralysis. I think it's Jeremic, bro. I'm here to help you out. Analysis paralysis sucks. And try to help like make plans. I think it helps a lot. That's why a lot of people buy $5,000 courses because of plans. And I'm like, let's just do it for free, right? If I had $1,000 budget, what do you suggest? Maybe start paying for skip tracing, maybe not. Definitely make a list and double dip it, cold call it, and then SMS blast it. All right. Sup. What's up, Blue Lotus TV? I'm looking for deals today in Florida and Pennsylvania. Sweet, man. Awesome. All right. Can you make a course when you show step-by-step exactly what you do to get a deal? It's so much information on YouTube. It's difficult to put it all together and find out where to start. I'll consider it if I make the course free. I do have a free wholesaling course. It's basically Wholesaling Houses for Real Facebook group. You go under guides. It's got like a mini course in there. I'm not the guy to charge for like be a guru and charge for courses. That's kind of not who I am. So I can always make a course, but like, do I want to? No, I want to give this stuff absolutely all for free. So I have a mastermind's free. You guys can hop on there and I can help you guys out. I'm from California. Is text blasting illegal? Maybe in the future, but right now I don't believe so. Again, I'm not a lawyer, so don't drive me crazy. Water shutoff lists, you can get that at basically from the county. The utilities department can basically do it for you. But also, if you go to listrei.com, which is like below here, if you go to utility liens list, that'll actually pop it up for you. And pretty cool. So you go to the lien section, go to utility liens list, that'll pop it up for you. What's up? Support from Columbus, Ohio. But are there any book recommendations you get for to get good at negotiating? A lot of podcasts are good. I would say Never Split the Difference is pretty good. I mean, a lot of YouTube videos should be able to do very well for you, like wholesaling specific wise. I have a lot of acquisitions content, but really it's just giving low offers. I mean, that's kind of where it's at. Like you get low offers, you negotiate up, and then you get a profit. That's kind of the best way to do it. That's my personal opinion. And then, guys, remember, make sure you like and subscribe here, and I'll keep answering questions. I work Tuesday through Saturday, 8 to 4 p.m. Should I text at 5? Only on Mondays. Texting at 5, you should still do good results. 2 to 7 is the sweet spot for cold calling and texting. So you're within that time frame. You're good to go. How many contracts per deal do you think worst case scenario? Contacts, it depends. I've done 5,000 texts and haven't got one deal, and I've done 5,000 gotten 2. More or less, I think 7,000 should be where you're at. But that's kind of where I'm at. Like I'm in a very saturated market. So we're almost pushing 10 now. But that's like a high equity one. If I do a very niche government list, it's probably closer to 4, but it's kind of hard. How do you feel about iBuyer? I feel like they wanted better looking homes with little, no work needed. Correct. iBuyers, just like Open Door or Zillow offers, they charge 7.5% like to sell the house. So the cash offer, let's say, is 100 grand, but they will literally charge you 7.5% commission. Like that's the same thing as a realtor. Like honestly, like I'm not scared. Trust me, like they are not a problem. Dealing with a very motivated seller, patients had pay partial rent, and they are a month to month. We want to be done with the headache of being a landlord. We cannot get it into property for picks though. Dealing with a very motivated seller, has tenant that pay partial rent month to month. He wants to be done with the headache, and we cannot get into the property for picks. I would probably get an eviction started on that. Depends what. Let me know what state you're in though. Long live Simba. ARV is 150. Minimum seller wants is 70. Had updates last summer. He said the kitchen and bathroom. I assume he did a cheap job because of hard time. Just lock up the deal and then just basically say we'll close on the deal when they get evicted and then bring the cash buyer through. That's kind of what I would do in that situation. Good job, Zach. Thank you so much, RK. You're the man. Talk about the difference between wholesaling to flip formula and wholesaling to a landlord formula. Love your stuff. There's not really much of a formula, I would say. I think wholesaling to a flipper you'll probably make less money in your wholesaling deals than if you wholesaled to a landlord. Landlords are usually looking for an ROI on their rentals versus basically someone looking to do an ROI on their flips. So more or less, that's kind of what I would say. But yeah, I mean, there's no formula. I would say a flipper will probably want to pay 85% of market value versus basically a landlord, which would be closer to 90%. Can I jump on a call with you? I have the services like PropStream, or I simply have the money for list. I know how to calculate the. I just need a organized plan. Yeah, man. I don't charge for it. So if you want $6.15 on Fridays, if you want, this is the link to join the Zoom. This will be on YouTube, but you can join the Zoom. And I do a call there. You can basically be in front of me and we could talk. Like I'm excited. I always love doing that. So facebook.com/group/wholesaling houses for real, or just go to Facebook groups and search wholesaling houses for real. Hop on. Let's have a convo, man. Let me help you out absolutely for free. That's what I do. Try to get water shutoffs list for Hillsborough County in Florida, and they said they haven't been turning off people's water since the pandemic and want to sell this to me for $125. Is it worth it? Mm, they're not shutting off water. Probably not worth it. Hillsborough County, I know, kind of hasn't. Some counties actually do. So I would say probably not worth it. But I want to see what kind of list it is if they're not shutting off water. That's kind of weird. So kind of see what's exactly in that list, and maybe I'll change my mind. How big is the list? Like stuff like that. Also on that list, they give you like a PDF and it's not organized well. Probably not. What's up, Zach? I just signed up for SMS. Zach, sending texts and listening to your live. Thank you for all the great info. Always gets me pumped. Kevin, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I am humbled every day from your support, guys. I'm just trying to help you guys as much as I possibly can. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Always love getting people pumped up. Since I'm in a very tough market, should I move on to virtual, even consider a suburb area? Let me know what market you're in. That'll probably change my opinion. If you're in a very saturated one, I would consider a suburban area outside of wherever you're at. That might be good, but comment below what market you're in. I'll probably make a better decision for you. Watching this is cutting. It's cutting in and out. What was the book recommendation on negotiation? I would probably say Never Split the Difference. Probably one of my favorite ones out there. I'm worried I'm wasting money on marketing. Trust me, I get it. So let me check right now. Just make sure this thing's not cutting out. No, it looks like it's doing pretty good. So, all right. Yeah, I mean, let me know what market you're in. And I can probably help you out a tad better. Eviction kind of tough with the extension moratorium, right? In Maryland, yes. I would say it's definitely very tough to do. The numbers on this deal are good, but I don't know if the buyer would pay for that kind of tenant headache. That's the issue. I'd get a deeper discount, or I'd get a decent, or maybe you kind of, if you're in Maryland, maybe play the appreciation game and wait for like July to kick him out. And then you put like buyer, like, you'll close on or before August 1st. And you just play the long game with them. Cash for keys, go from there. That's probably what I'd feel like. Probably some appreciation coming. So that's kind of what I would say. Found the same vacant land buyers are paying $30K, but I need help finding an offer. So if they're paying $30K, if someone's willing to sell it for $25, you made $5K. So I guess that's the most. But why not offer $5? Like you'll be shocked. You get land like for $5K under contract, and then you could sell them for like $30. Like it's pretty weird. So like I legitimately, like if I were you, like I would be shocked sometimes at how crazy it can be. Debating on if I should focus on wholesaling land or houses. Which you suggest I should start with? I say focus on houses and then maybe put some land in there, and it might actually help you out. What do you think of the Los Angeles market? I think you need to do virtual. That's my opinion. Portland, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now I remember. Yeah. That's a tough one. Probably get some suburbs and get some virtual wholesaling. It's just a tough one. Please. What's the question for us? Let me know. I want to help you, man. Do you have an SMS text blasting script? Yes. So that's basically, pop it up for you right there. That is my SMS text blasting script. www.flipwithrick.com/texting. That is my SMS text blasting script. Is Detroit market tough? I wholesale in Detroit. I think it's actually a pretty good market. So that whole Wayne County area, I think it's really good. Some guys don't do it right. So they say it sucks. I would say under 60K, you really can't go wrong, but make sure it's above like 15. But Detroit, you could do very well. Like in that, don't do just Detroit, do all of Wayne County. But I think it's a really good market to be in. So that's kind of what I recommend for it. But yeah, man, we do SMS text blasting all the time in Wayne County. So it's pretty good. One last thing to mention here with SMS text blasting is you want to be in the good area code. You want to make sure everything's good there. But that's kind of where we're at right now with SMS text blasting in 2021. So I really appreciate it, guys. Nashville is a great market. I always recommend it. I think it's a good one. Knoxville's awesome. Like there's so much. Dayton's on a tough market. I think Dayton's actually a hot market right now. So I think you're actually a very good one. So how long do you wait until those texts do not reply? Okay. How long do you wait until the text those that did not reply to the initial text? That's a really good one for the follow-up. What I do is I give it, I think, a month. So that's what we do. Actually, it should be 3 months for one area code. But if I had to do it just one list like 10,000 and do every month. How about Buffalo? That's tough. Rochester's a little better. I think Rochester's a way better market. How often do you follow up with your sellers? Every month if you can. Big list like every other one. Cold calling, kind of what I said before, vacants, government lists, and high equity if you have the big numbers. And probates nationally too. Probates actually one of my favorite ones out there. I got a tax delinquent with about 800 to 1,000 addresses via PDF and no zip codes. What is the fastest way to get zip codes for these properties minus inserting them at one on the USPS site? I would probably... I'd probably hire a VA, honestly. But I mean, individually, it's gonna suck. If you do tree people search, it might pop up the zip code for you while you're doing it. So maybe you do 2 for 1 there. But that's kind of where I'm out there. And then, guys, really quickly, if you're watching this live, comment really quickly because I got to end this real quick. All your SMS text blasting questions really quick. Do a quick lightning round for you guys. I'm gonna get some water here, and then do a quick lightning round for SMS text blasting. And then I guess we'll wrap up the class today. Class is in session. All righty. Let's see here. Yeah, seller said he could sell the house rather than take them to court. 80K spread on the deal just seems like some nice. Yeah, at 80K, I'd probably worth it. And now if you're wholesaling it, offer cash for keys for the tenant. Like if that's actually real, offer cash for keys. That's a killer deal right there. I have a good deal. I sent an offer for a few days ago. She said her and her family will review it. It's been a couple days. When should I follow up with them? Like, call them right now. Like, I love you guys watching my stuff, but get off right now and call them. Seriously. Call them right now. Thanks for the content. It's awesome. Sweet. Mike, I'm serious. Go call them right now. Like, seriously. Like, call them right now. Can't get pics on the property because the tenant and seller don't have a great relationship. I don't want to door knock on happy tenants for safety reasons. Yeah, that's the problem. I would say you're partners with the seller and you're here to do an inspection or here to take pictures. I mean, 80K is 80K. I get it with the safety reasons, but I mean that it's up to you. Or you maybe hire someone to try to get to do that. Do you send one? Also, with many lease agreements, if you with a 24-hour notice, they should be able to have access inside the property. So think about that too. Do you send one text out to owners or do you individually ask them about a specific property? SMSZach.com lets you individually text each one by making it kind of a blast out, if that makes sense. There's templates in there. So it's like, hey, is this, bracket name and then space, bracket last name, question mark, about bracket property address, and then it'll just individually do it, kind of like a cold calling thing. So it'll do it for you. Pretty cool. When skipping, do you add the middle initial? No. Okay, I didn't want to feel like I'm being over annoying and feel like I'm a shady scamming. No, I get it. But the issue is you are partners with the seller and you're trying to help them out, and 80K is 80K. That's kind of, oh yeah, no, you're not 80K, but no, you have the one who's trying to get the follow-up. Hey, I'm following up. Say, hey, I got plenty of properties I want to buy. I really connected with you really well, and I want to help you out. That's it. So, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you got any value out of it, remember, smash that like button and subscribe. SMSZach.com is the website to get 500 texts for $1. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Have